Hot dog, hot dog.
Here we go again.
Here we go. Here we go. Listen, um, just an FYI, if you don't want your feelings to be hurt, log off. As a matter of fact, if you don't want the truth, just log off. If you don't want to change, you know what to do. Log off. All right. With that being said, um, my name is Leland Baptist. I have an amazing, amazing co-host with me here, Hank Hunt. Hank, take it
Hi.
away, man.
Well, I actually I have a confession, y'all. Um, I was looking at something. No, I was listening to something. Not paying attention to it, but there was some noise playing in the background. I think we're all there. You know, you're driving and you got something playing in the background. You're sitting at home doing something. There's something playing in the background, and something got my attention. And it said that for Black Friday there were 9.12 billion dollars spent online in the U.S. one day. And then they said that for Cyber Monday, the figure was 11.3 billion one day. And for that weekend, 5 day period in the US, 35 plus $billion was spent online. And I started to think about that, and I'm going like, man, this is crazy because I personally don't do Black Friday or Cyber Monday. I just don't do it. I just think it's fleecing of America. And then I was thinking, there are people who strategically plan for those 2 days, in many instances, spending money that they can't afford, buying stuff for other people and or themselves, and then take the rest of the year to get back to zero. And I was thinking about that, and what it says to me is most of us will do whatever it takes to scratch that itch. I hope you understand what I'm saying. That's a metaphor to to scratch that itch. And I've got friends who will go to the store for Black Friday. They're leaving at midnight Thanksgiving Day. I mean Thanksgiving, okay? Midnight, and go stand in line for hours and shop all day. So my question to you is, are you one of those individuals? Do you do you create this list and you go online before Black Friday, and you decide, you do all of the research to determine where you're going to go to spend the money, and you got coupons and you got all these other things just to spend money for 2 days? Now, I know I'm simplifying it. My question is, do you use that same degree of tenacity, of planning, of following through, of execution to do other things that are important in your life?
Mhm.
And and I think the answer, I know the answer, and the answer for most people is no. I know it's no, because there are times when I will put aside things that are important to me. I waste time doing something just to satisfy a selfish itch on my part. And until I changed my mind, I created a different mindset, and I sat down and I determined what's important today, for this week, next week, next month. Where do I want to be at the end of the year? If it's early January, where would I like to be 3, 4, 5 years from now? Now, there's no way that I can lay out all of the specific details and the nuances of life to say, here is the plan, and I'm going to follow it. I'm going to execute to this plan every day. I don't know anyone who does. However, I did say I have a plan. And I try to follow that plan because life happens. It's going to rain. You're going to have a hurricane. There's going to be a tornado. Someone's going to get sick. You're going to lose a job. Stuff is going to happen. But my plan is that as soon as I get through the stuff that might be either important or that's an emergency, once I finish that, handle that, I'm back on the plan. And here's the thing. If I'm 5 days behind schedule, I know damn well I cannot make up those 5 days in one. So I look at what it is that I didn't get done when I should have been doing something, and I go, okay, I reprioritize those things so that I can get back on schedule to do the other stuff that needs to happen in my life. So the question is, what kind of sacrifices are you willing to make today? Today, not tomorrow, today, that says that in X period of time, I will do this, or you may say, I'd like to do this, or I'm going to do this, or you might even say, I want to do this. And I know it's semantics, but each of those semantics has a different meaning in the process of execution.
Whew. Hank?
Yes, sir.
There was I think it was last week, there was a picture that surfaced about Jerry Jones, right? And it would show Jerry Jones as, I don't know, 12 or something, 14-year-old in Arkansas, where people were attempting to integrate. And I just want to say this real quick, especially for my generation. There are ignorant people in every generation, but especially when I hear some people that are within my age group that will say that, oh, that was so long ago. Well, Jerry is still alive, Hank's still alive, so obviously.
Be careful. Are you making a comparison?
No. I'm just saying. What I'm saying is that it obviously wasn't that long ago. So,
well, no. Yeah.
Right. So, here's what I'm getting at. LeBron James made a comment and said, "Hey, listen, when Kyrie sent a tweet, there was lots of backlash and people were up in arms and upset. But when Jerry attended various things in which you have evidence of him doing, you heard nothing. And he just said, I just asked that if you were upset with the Kyrie thing, why don't you keep that same energy?
Woof. Bring it.
And so for those guys who might be tone deaf, allow me to reiterate what Hank is saying. If you're willing to sacrifice for us the single day of Christmas, quote unquote Christmas, to have gifts under the tree so that it makes your ego feel good as you speak with your children, loved ones, and whoever else, why can't you keep that same energy throughout the year? Why can't you keep that same energy throughout the month? Are people really that short-sighted to where they only think about the instant gratification of quote unquote the holiday, to where they now, like, this is ridiculous to me. I had someone call me this morning, and this lady was telling me, this is funny. The lady told me, I think it was like just last week, maybe the week before, how she needs to make a change in her life, how she really needs things to go well, and that she has to do something different, and that she wants to do this for her kids, she wants to do this for her grandkids, and she knows that she has to earn more money. And then today, she calls me and says along the lines of, Leland, I'm thinking that maybe I shouldn't start doing this thing with you guys until after Christmas, because I want to get my kids some presents. I'm thinking to myself,
Wow.
and I'm not. Hey, listen, I'm not going to force anyone to do what they should be doing. I said, okay, if that's what you want to do, but let this sink in real quick. Many people would rather have instant gratification. And
Oh,
we talk
bring
about
it.
this,
Yeah.
about
Oh, yeah.
you get a bag of seed, and instead of you realizing the purpose of the seed, which is to be planted in the ground, so that the seed itself can give you a tree that will produce a multiple of seeds that will basically grow and build momentum to do more, you would rather eat the
Mm.
entire bag of seed
The fallacy of now.
and then during harvest time get upset
Oh, Lord.
at the ground that you did not sow in. You didn't even put a lick of a seed into the ground, but yet at
Mm.
harvest time you kicking the ground, you spitting on it, you upset, and it's like you reaped what you sowed. You sowed nothing. Therefore,
You reap nothing,
you reap nothing.
which means you eat nothing.
You eat nothing. So you're gonna have that same cycle that you're in. I got an email this morning from someone. So just so you guys know, we have marketing that goes out. We have emails that go out that are scheduled and all this other stuff. And Hank, you recall there was an Orthodox Jewish man who we had an interview with, right?
Yes.
All
Yes.
right.
Yes.
Now, look, here's the thing. This is so crazy to me. People are just ridiculous. But this person responds to the email, this automated email, and says, I know that. So the email that he responded to was the email about us having that conversation with that gentleman.
Cost segregation.
About cost segregation. Okay. The only type of segregation that Hank and I are okay with. Okay.
Absolutely. Yes.
All right. So this person responds to that email and says, everything that he says, the fact that you sent me this email is proof to me that you are a scam. And I said, and I responded was, if you think cost segregation is a scam, I encourage you to Google it. But in full reaction, what I really wanted to say to this individual is the following. The reason that you don't know what cost segregation is because of your piss poor mindset. The reason that you don't have any money to even take a step forward is because of your piss poor mindset. If you would change your piss poor mindset, it would actually lead you to things that would allow you to earn more money. And if you earn more money, you would actually know that cost segregation is something that wealthy individuals use to legally pay little to no taxes. But because you think that is a scam, that's what it will be unto you. There's something called cognitive dissonance, where if I believe something is true, the fact that it is not true doesn't matter, because it's what I believe, and so therefore I will seek out things that will confirm that own bias. As an example, if Bob is a racist in his core, and Bob believes that all people that look like me, let's call them quote black people. He says, "Hey, all black people,
call it what it is.
all black people are lazy." And by the way, Bob says, "Hey, listen," and say, "Bob, why is that?" And Bob says, "Well, listen, black folk been lazy ever since they stopped working for free, right?" Bob said, "Listen, all these black folk are lazy."
This ain't funny.
Bob goes. It's called cognitive dissonance. Everywhere that Bob goes, he's going to see things that will confirm his bias.
Wow.
Because that's how the mind works. It's much more similar to me saying, I want to buy a Porsche. And then everywhere I go, I start to see Of
You start to
course.
see one. Absolutely.
Right.
But Leland, you were saying something. I wanted to jump in because I think some of the platforms have taken that cognitive whatever
Yep.
to a
And
whole
amplify.
new level so that
Absolutely.
people go down these rabbit holes, and people who were rational thinkers before become so irrational in thought that in their minds they are being rational beings. But
Absolutely.
that's another thought
But, but,
because
but wait a second, Hank. Isn't
Mhm.
that the importance of community, though? Because
Uh,
here's the ebb and flow of that. If you have a negative thinking and you never open yourself up to a new, or in this case, a true thing,
mhm,
you could be around other people that are just as negative and as broke, apparently,
mhm.
that have that negative thought, and all it does is it confirms the wrong. It
Wow,
confirms
oof.
the wrong. It
Puts it on
confirms
steroids.
the wrong. And you believe so much in that BS thinking
Mm, mm, mm.
that even when you are presented with the truth, which is what he was presented with,
Yeah.
you still don't believe it because you've been so ingrained into the shenanigans. Which I'm gonna say this real quick. Something else that happened today.
You've had a busy day.
A busy day. Had a busy morning, right?
Yeah.
Because we're still in that. So um, a fraternity brother of mine, line brother of mine, he blew me up this morning, like at 7 o'clock, right?
Wow.
And I was still doing
And you
things.
answered?
No, I
Oh,
was I
okay.
was I was still doing things. I was still doing things with my kids, getting ready.
Okay. Oh.
And so I was like, I'm not going to answer that. My man he sent me 4 text messages, 3 phone calls, and 2 emails.
Mhm.
And he sent me a link too. He said, "Hey, can you please buy this man's marketing program? You know, you buy this program for me, I'll pay you back." Okay.
Uh-oh.
Now, um, about a week or maybe 1 or 2 weeks before, he and I had a conversation where he had asked me, he was like, "Hey, I like things you're doing.
Mhm.
I want to do more of those things. How do you do it? Blah blah blah." And he had made a comment. He said that he was teaming up with a friend of his for a new business, and he made a comment and said, "I don't think any of the people that she knows will buy the things that we're selling." And I said, "That's pretty interesting." So I said, "Why do you think that is?" He said, I don't know. I just don't think they'll buy it." I said, "Yeah." I said, "You know what? It would be similar to me having a course, an app, videos, and written training materials, and you choose not to buy it, but instead you call me directly to want to get all of my knowledge and expertise for
Mhm.
free.
Mhm.
But if
That
someone
happens.
but if someone else had a course, a book, and other things, you would want to buy that." I said, "It's probably the same thing, right?" Flew way over his head.
His
He
head.
didn't get
Yeah.
it. He didn't get it. So here's what I'm getting at for everyone else. If you're looking at someone and someone that you consider someone to be successful, they have more success than you do, you got to think to yourself, why is it that this person has more success? And I'm going to tell you why. Because they're willing to invest in themselves. Because you
Mhm.
want to reap where you don't sow.
Mm.
That's what it boils down to.
Mark, Leland, you see, you said something about success. My wife and I moved here some years ago, and we lived in a pretty nice house. Um, I have to be transparent, right?
That's all we do.
Okay, 5 bedrooms, five and a half baths, and someone came to visit that I had served in the military with years before. And he was there, and you know how it is. You show people stuff. Just hey,
Hey, welcome, welcome. Yeah.
welcome. And we go and we just walk him through the house. And he said something that blew me away. He said, "Damn, Hank." I said, "What?" He says, "All your rooms are furnished." And I'm going like, "Excuse me?" He said, "Man, I know people that got houses bigger than yours and they got no furniture. They got something in the kitchen. They may have something in the living room. They have a bed, but he says they got nothing. He said it's just an empty shell."
He knows the
Okay?
wrong people.
So what I'm getting at is, what does success look like for you?
Hmm.
Don't get it twisted. A lot of people that you know that are driving, that live in those big houses, bad English, ain't got no furniture.
Or
They're driving these big cars that they're leasing, paying $1,200, $1,400 a month on. If you ask them to write a check today for $2,500, they couldn't do it if their lives depended on it. And to you, that's success because they got initials before their names, after their names. They go to this church, they went to that school, they live in this community, or what have you. So please don't get it twisted as to what success means.
hold on,
Okay?
hold on 1 second though, Hank.
Yes, sir.
Because in the metaphor that we gave earlier about planting seeds, that is the equivalent of someone admiring the fruit,
Mm.
but then realizing that the person doesn't even have an apple tree.
They don't even have a strawberry bush. So and please, we're not making light of anything. What we're trying to do, what I'm trying to do, is to have you to just open the door just a little bit, or just turn on a light, just the lights dim, turn it up a little bit, because for you to get from where you are to where you want to be, and I use that terminology often, you got to be willing to make a sacrifice of something. It's going to be of time, it's going to be of talent, it's going to be of money, it's going to be of connections, it's going to be of health, it's going to be of something. So, what are you willing to sacrifice?
Something.
But remember that the the sacrifice will be temporary or permanent. You have to decide. If you sacrifice with a plan and you execute the plan, oh Lord Jesus Christ, there will be phenomenal rewards at the end of that journey. But if you don't have a plan, you don't really know what it is that you want to do. You were trained to do this or be that,
Yep.
and you are unwilling, not able, unwilling
Unwilling.
to deviate. Okay? Years ago, I had some supervisors, division chiefs working with me, working for me. I said with me, but I was the boss. But still, doesn't matter. Here's the deal. And they started to have a problem. They stopped communicating. And I'm not going to say that it was a racist situation, because one looked like me and two looked like somebody else. The point I'm making is they stopped communicating. So I brought them in and I said, let's have it. We need to talk. And I gave them my observation. And I said, okay, I said, things have to change. I said, and if you're unwilling, I said, let me rewind. I said, I'm going to ask each of you a question. And based on your answer, I will make decisions accordingly. So I went to the first guy and I said, are you unwilling or unable to work with so and so and so and so? And he says, I don't know what you mean. I said, unwilling means you got the capacity, but you're not going to do it. Unwilling, you have the capacity, don't want to do it. Unable is, I might need some help. So these guys said, one of them said, well, no, I'm unwilling. Okay. What about you? I'm unwilling. Okay, what about you? I'm willing. I said, okay. So the two said that they're unwilling, which means that they're not going to be willing to work with me either. I can't keep all three. So I said, okay, for those of you who are unwilling, I have to make a decision. And I will make that decision by the end of the day. The decision I reached was they had to move out of my environment because they had become toxic. And it
Mhm.
took a long time for me to get there because I had done all of the coaching and mentoring and counseling to say, hey, what's up? But again, I don't know what the reason. Yes, I do. Two of them had degrees in accounting, and one had a degree in business. And the guys with degrees in accounting in an accounting environment thought that they were smarter than the guy who just had a business degree. Now you said, well, that doesn't make any sense. Well, I know it didn't make any sense to me, but when people are deeply rooted in their biases, they will sabotage your existence and theirs. So I go back to the fact that success demands sacrifice. What are you willing to give up? And I hope that you have a desire to be more, to have more, to give more. But you can't do it with stinking thinking and the mindset you came into this conversation with today.
That's right. The biggest thing that you're going to sacrifice. Well, first, the first thing you have to sacrifice, period, is always going to be in between your own ears.
But some of them won't admit the fact that they are faulty.
If you can't admit that you're faulty, there's no way that someone can show you, teach you, train you something different. Period.
But but I, but see, there are those who are perfectionists. They think that they are perfect in relationship too, because they think they're in tight with the boss or somebody, or they went this or they are this frat, and they're accepted into almost every environment they've gone to or into. They've been readily accepted, but they have not stepped up their game. They have not honed their skills. They've gone in with the same old thinking, stinking thinking, and expect that they'll just come in and make a difference. And they'll make a difference, all right. They'll make a difference in the sense that somebody goes, man, this Hank guy, he's full of S. He brings nothing. He brings absolutely nothing. He's unwilling to learn. He's unwilling to try. And as a result of that, he's unwilling to grow.
Mm, mm, mm.
Not notice I didn't say unable, did I?
Nope.
Unwilling.
Unwilling. Unwilling. So let's do this real quick. We're gonna log off. We're gonna log off here, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.
I hope I made sense to you guys. Happy holidays to you. We are not anti-Christmas, okay? I'm for anybody else who's listening who's not Christian. That's okay. The point we're making is be careful where you spend your money.
Better yet, your talents.
Yes. Thank you. Have a great day.